carries a story of courage, strength, purpose, and triumph. Inspirational stories that need to be amplified, but also, most important, preserved. At her memoir, we tell these stories of these remarkable women shaping Africa's story. And today, we have another remarkable lady, Dr. Halima Saado, Vice Chancellor, Umma University. She is a leader, she is a scholar, but most important, she is a mentor. Dr. Halima, welcome to her memoir.
Thank you very much, Noella. It's good to be here.
Thank you. Good to have you. Finally, we've been talking with my colleagues and saying, we need to get a scholar on set. We need to get a remarkable woman who is shaping, the education sector. And we're happy to have you. How is Umma University?
Yes. So far, so good. We're doing very well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yes. It's a privilege to have you, Dr. Halima. And I know before we just chit-chatting when we saw the need to bring you to her memoir. And you have a story, an interesting, long story, beautiful chapters that have defined who you are today, and chapters that have accelerated your growth, but also your resilience. Yeah. Know that you've not gone through challenges in life, right?
So true.
So tell us, Dr. Halima, we see this Halima, the VC, but this Halima's walked a journey. When you look back, what reflection do you see of a younger Halima, a reflection that has been part of this foundation of where you are now?
I remember this Halima who was always pushing boundaries, who was always trying to be very different and exploring things that were not expected for a young girl from a Muslim community, from a Somali community to be doing. So I was always that young girl who was very different. And I remember when I was in primary school, I used to do things that many other girls were not doing. For example, when we choose activities, I will choose activities like, for example, it was during the beginning of 844, the first few years of 844. So I will choose the team that is doing maybe house construction. I will choose the team that is doing farming. Yeah, when other young girls are choosing music, maybe knitting, soft skills.
Yeah.
So and because I was born in between boys, so the peers around me at home were mainly boys. So I was always that girl who was more of a boyish,
a tomboy.
Yes,
as we used to call them.
Yes.
And it's interesting because it's not a walk in the park to run a whole university. Yeah, so I can imagine you also need that stamina to do.
Yes, because you stand among many men. Yes. Okay. And most of the time you might be the only woman in the room. So yes, you need that.
You need the tomboy. When it's time to put in the strength, then
somebody like them has stepped into the room and they feel your presence.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I'm happy that you mentioned these things that you did in primary. And we're just curious to know, where did you grow up? What schools did you attend, during your early learning, primary, secondary, college? Talk to us about that.
So I was born and brought up in Kitale, a family of 7.
Wow.
So 4 boys, 3 girls.
And you're in between them?
I'm the third born and the first girl.
Oh, nice.
So there are 2 boys ahead of me, and then there was an immediate boy behind me before the girls came. So as I said, I grew, and the peers around, even the families around us had many boys than girls. So I went to school, my primary school, I did it in Kitale Union Primary. Then I went to the current St. Monica Girls for my high school. And then I went to Moi University. No, before I went to Moi University, I went to Mombasa Polytechnic for a 3-year diploma program in applied biology. Then from Mombasa Polytechnic, I went to Moi University for my undergraduate in Bachelor of Science. And then I proceeded to South Africa, the University of KwaZulu-Natal, where I did my master's and my PhD as well as my postdoc. Then now I came back again to continue serving the nation.
That's very interesting. Kitale, Mombasa, Eldoret, South Africa.
Yes. Actually, before I went to Mombasa Polytechnic, I had two options. I had Mombasa Polytechnic and Eldoret Polytechnic.
Mm-hmm.
In Eldoret Polytechnic, I was supposed to do chemical engineering.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to go far from home. So my choice was not because of the passion in biology or the lack of passion in chemical engineering, but was just I want to go far. You know, I had never traveled far. Had never seen the ocean. So my choice of Mombasa Polytechnic was basically to just go far, see the ocean, and yeah.
I know that feeling when it was 8 years, then 4 years
Yeah.
within the same town.
Yeah.
Just want to explore and see how the other parts of Kenya.
Yes.
Oh wow!
Yes.
And tell us, Dr. Halima, we all grow up in a family setting, which is our foundation. What are some of the principles, some of the values that you still carry on and have shaped your journey?
I think for me, I've learned a lot from my parents, and I've been brought up in a home where family unity is very critical and very important. I've been brought up in a family where my parents have always been present in my life and the life of my siblings as well. My father is a strong believer of education, and I think even he got a nickname of Minister of Education.
Oh, while growing up.
While you were growing up, because among the many parents, he was the parent who was very concerned about education. He was concerned even beyond his nuclear family, like my cousins, my aunties who were in school. My father used to go for their parents' meeting, closing day, you know, trying to see their progress, recommend which high schools they'll choose and things like that. So first, I grew up in a home that education is everything and education is the key. So that is one thing that actually has shaped my life in terms of, even being passionate about education. The other thing is, as I said, being together. When I was growing up, this is how our home was. When we were in primary school, in the morning when we wake up, it's our father used to attend to us, ensure that we are ready for school. The breakfast is ready. We've had our breakfast and we've left for school. And my father will say, "Shh, don't be quiet. No, don't make a lot of noise. Let your mother rest." Oh. So I saw the role of a father in a family when I was growing up, and my father is a parent who, in the middle of you being punished in school, my father rocks up. He's just coming to. There's no
No
visiting
appointment,
day,
no nothing.
no appointment, no nothing. He's just passing by to see how are we doing in school. And because I was among the naughty students, half the time you used to find me in the middle of a punishment, whether I'm either kneeling down or I'm being something. So.
But I see a bit of naughtiness actually when you smile. There's the trace, some less of naughtiness.
The other thing that we grew up is my father was always at home by 4:30.
Wow.
Always, unless he's out of town. In fact, we were the ones who are walking in, from playing after him. He'll come and we used to ask him, "Why are you home this time?" Yes, and he used to say, when I got married, I took a decision to be a family man. I don't visit people unless I need to visit them in their homes because they're unwell or things like that. I don't want my children to learn from me that a father is supposed to be coming home in the midnight or things like that. Mm-hmm. So those are the things that we learned. We also learned the value of, my father ensured that we also went to madrasa and learned the religion. And you are beaten if you don't, do the right thing. And he was very active in that as well. Until today, he's the member of the mosque committee in Kitale. So all-rounded. And with that, he's really shaped even how we are running our homes, and especially how my brothers are running their homes, the role they are playing as the father figures. So that is the home I grew up in, and I thank God and I appreciate that my parents are still alive to date. So we are still enjoying that privilege, and for that I say Alhamdulillah.
Wow, wow, that's a solid foundation. And as we all know, of course, a lot of African setting, you'll get it's the woman who does the nurturing every day. But seeing that commitment, you speak of education, coming to school, checking how you're doing, beyond even the nuclear family. Is it something you're also doing within your own family? Is it a principle, a value you've carried on?
Yes. For a long time, being the first girl, you also kind of become the mother. of your siblings. And the same thing I'm doing for my especially my siblings who are because some of my siblings are out of the country. The ones who are in the country, I am their first to call. After the nuclear family, father, mother, the next person the school will call is me because my name is there. I go for their school function. I advise on choices of, when my sisters are choosing schools for their children, they consult me, advise. Or when my views is, somebody wants to hear from me on a matter on education, I provide.
Wow. Dr. Halima, if your reflection was to speak to you today, what would you thank it for?
Being resilient and also being a go-getter and trying to explore areas that not everybody thinks about exploring. When young girls were thinking about beauty and other things, I was thinking of, I want to be this, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a teacher, I want to change the world, I want to change the lives of my parents. The only thing that our parents gave us is education. And my father was very firm. He used to say, I don't have any other inheritance other than education.
Wow.
So I'll do my best to give you good quality education so that your life can be different. And you see, my father, he didn't get a chance to go to school when he was young. He got a chance to go to school when he was an adult, as an adult student learning through what they used to call correspondence. So, yeah. So if my father was that resilient, coming from a family that they were raised, what he used to do is to take care of the camels. So he was a herder. Then he decided later to go to school. So if I look back at myself, that spirit of resilience, of living with purpose. I don't look at I will not succeed. I always look that I will succeed. If not now,
a time will
come. So I have to keep pushing. The other thing that I look back and I reflect on myself is I believe that we've been created to worship our Creator. So for me, it's to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And worship is not only praying, even working and doing your job is an act of worship.
True.
So when I'm executing my duty, I am actually in a state of worship. Yeah.
True.
Yes,
Actually,
yes.
even they talk about there's time for everything.
Yes,
so it's
yes.
not just worship, as you're saying. If you're serving someone,
Yes.
whether through your leadership, your mentorship,
Yeah.
then that's worship.
It's an actual worship.
Yeah.
So, yes.
I love how you talk very passionately about your parents and how they shaped the Halima that
Yes.
is today.
Yes.
But when we grew up, our times, of course, times have changed, not like, this Gen Z time, the crew you see on set. Our time, we were nurtured by the entire community.
Yes, yes.
Any elder in the community was your parent, and
Yes,
they could
true.
discipline you
Of
wherever
course,
they
of
found
course,
you.
of course.
So beyond your parents, who are other people who shaped the Dr. Halima we see today?
Oh, yeah. So the other person who shaped my life, and may God rest her soul in eternal peace and grant her Jannah, is my grandmother, my maternal grandmother. Oh my goodness. That woman was a go-getter and she was so tough. And especially from the resilience perspective. If you speak to anyone from Kitale, they will tell you how resilient my grandmother was. She lost her husband at a very young age, and she only has one daughter who is my mom. The rest are boys. So she raised almost 8, 9 boys on her own.
And that's the interlink I want us to talk about, Dr. Halima, because at times we see you now and we assume life has been very easy. You've had it all. The young women maybe aspiring to rise within the scholarly field or other industry, but they think it's not possible. They're trying to define themselves by their background, humble background. What can you tell them?
Okay, so first, I believe, and I think I'm a living example on, you can change where you've come from, and you can learn from your situation to make your life better. I think the difference between me and maybe another young lady somewhere is they might be in a humble background, but they don't have anyone to hold their hands. But then when you get that opportunity, don't let your background continue to define your choices, your energy, your decisions. Try to use that opportunity when it's presented to you to make your life better and the life of the people that you've left behind. So coming from a humble background is one thing. When you get that opportunity, Don't let the humble background define you. And everyone in this world, even the successful ones, even the ones who came from
Everyone has a story.
everybody has a story, and it's only one opportunity that they make good use of that change their lives.
The turnaround.
Yeah, the turnaround.
I'm happy you give us your story. And that's why her memoir exists, to tell these remarkable stories, that you're able to bloom from humble beginnings.
Yeah.
And you leveraged the opportunities that are given to you. Now you're a solid leader. And Dr. Halima, as they usually say, every leader has those crossroad moments. If you're to pick one, what has been that moment? How did it test your faith, maybe test your strength and resilience?
Okay. Yes, I've had several moments that have really tested my resilience, my patience, my belief,
Many
my
things.
existence. So first, let me pick one when I was very new at Kenya Red Cross Society. When we were doing a project on trying to break the Guinness world record on how many trees we can plant in an hour.
Oh, we saw another person hugging a tree.
Yes,
So
yes.
you're in that similar tent.
Yeah, so everything was in top gear. I was the technical person behind that. The leadership had bought it. The leadership, even in the other stakeholders outside, the Ministry of Environment, the other partners, KFS, had bought the idea. As we were getting towards, and we had rallied the public behind us. People were, funds were raised.
The call. People
Funds were raised.
in their own spaces. I remember that call.
And then I think the seasons didn't do very well because we were expecting a good season in terms of rain, so that we can now plant the trees. Because the issue is not to plant, but to ensure that the trees grow. And I think there was a last-minute call that exercise will not take place. And because I was very new at Kenya Red Cross, it was one of my first biggest assignments.
Low-hanging fruits, as they call them.
Yeah, our first big assignment. Yeah. And I remember I used to stay in the office until 1, making calls, ensuring everything's okay. With the sport, because we had a very small team, internal team, even though, of course, there was support from the external stakeholders. When that thing was called, I felt like my world, I cannot wake up the next morning. Like, where will I go? How will I start? Who will I face? So I went to bed so stressed. But then, of course, the morning came, and the morning we start with a prayer. So I prayed. And I looked back and I said, yesterday passed and today is a new day. Okay? I think I will survive.
But it crushed you.
It crushed me. But now what made me wake up and be confident is my former boss, Dr. Abbas Gulet, spoke to me and told me the world has not come to an end. This is just a small hiccup. We will bounce back better. In the meantime, we can plant trees in this particular place. And anyone whose funds were collected, the funds will be reversed. So people were given. So that gave me, and there I learned that you don't need to die alone, and we don't succeed alone. Somebody should not come and say, I made it on my own. It's not possible.
You cannot run a race on your own.
So apart from the community that brought me up, I also have the community that I met along the way. And that particular community also made me survive such a moment. But then also when I became the Vice Chancellor, I'm a first female Vice Chancellor in an Islamic institution. And you're expected to make changes. You've just come out of COVID. Resources are scarce. So that was also another very trying moment. And having a team, as I said, that believes in you and holds your hands and walk with you through those. So it was another thing. And I cannot say I've survived. I've actually thrived.
You have.
And I'm very proud of what I've achieved for the last 4 years at Umma University, coming out of COVID, the first female Muslim VC. But having a council that works with you, believes in you, also made my journey easier.
I know you've talked about, growing up, you're a bit nutty, but then you started focusing. You've talked to us about the challenges. But what sacrifice do you make, Halima? They say leaders make a lot of sacrifices. We've had stories of some leaders, they sacrifice even their time with family. Some will sacrifice their me time.
Yeah.
What are some of the sacrifices that we don't see, but we just see the work and the success? Yes.
So, as you said, we make a lot of sacrifices, especially the sacrifices of family. Sometimes even during family functions, you're not there. But I'll give you two examples. When I got my baby in 2023, my baby came earlier. But because I already knew the baby is coming this week, I had set with council at Umma, I had set the interview of the DVC. So we were interviewing for a DVC position. And the baby came a day before the interview. And it was a CS section. Do you know the next day I sat and conducted the interview from the hospital bed? Yes. You know,
Was it necessary?
No, now
Halima?
let me tell you now, as women, how we battle.
Yeah.
I don't know if other women also go through those battles in their head. Nobody forced me.
Okay.
Nobody forced me. If I told my chair I am in the hospital, I have.
She would have told
it should
you
have been
take
posted.
time.
Take time. I mean, also, I looked at the surrounding. We had taken long before we filled this position. By the time we were getting these particular candidates, so nobody forced me. But those are the sacrifices, as you asked. Sometimes we make. Again, during that period, graduation was coming. Okay, 2 weeks after delivery, it was graduation.
Don't tell me you
One
attended the
cold
graduation.
morning, I drove from here. I was driven from Nairobi to Kajiado for the graduation. And the graduation happened while cold. And you know, June, towards the end of June is very cold in
Yes.
Kajiado. The graduation is outside. I'm a C-section mother. And I went for that graduation. Nobody forced me. But that time, we didn't have DVCs. And I felt these students, I cannot hold their lives longer. Okay? I will heal at some point. But I cannot keep this graduation 1 month later. 2 months. These students need to graduate and go look for jobs. Nobody forced me. Nobody asked me to do it, but I did it. Among many other sacrifices that other leaders, I'm sure if you ask them, they make.
Everyone has a sacrifice.
Yes.
We'll do things a little bit different before we pick it up.
Yes.
When I look at you, I see a lot of color. So you seem to be someone who loves bright colors.
Yes.
What is your favorite color between yellow, green, red, orange, and blue?
They're all my colors.
Let's start with the first one.
Red.
Okay. So I'll ask you that you pick one card.
Okay.
Then I'll be able to ask you a question. Just pull one card. Okay. How do you practice self-love and self-worth daily?
Okay, I practice it in so many ways. First, worship. I don't compromise my worship times, okay? Unless it's very necessary. I'm a traveler and there are excuses for a traveler. So I prioritize that because I feel like that is love. If I don't love myself enough, then I cannot do that. I also give a lot of time now that I'm a mother to a young baby. So what I'm trying to practice now is when I go home, I slow down. I put my phone, unless I'm talking to family, I put my phone on the side. I also do the simple care, like go to the salon, do my facial, do my spa and things like that.
So I'll ask you to pick another card, then
I'll pick this one.
Okay. Oh, wow. Very interesting card.
Resilience.
Resilience and triumph.
Yeah.
What is a storm you thought would break you, but instead it built you?
I think I'll go back to the tree planting incident. I think that is a storm that I thought was going, among a few others, not many, that I thought was going to break me completely. But it built me because from there, I grew from a manager. I was able to become a leader as a head of department. And eventually now I'm the vice chancellor of a university. So turning around that to bring out my strength and my ability to control, to be in control even if the situation is bad. That is one of the things that actually, built, has contributed to my strength.
We now have yellow, red, and blue. Where do we go next? What color?
Let's go yellow.
Okay. These are many.
Let me try this side now.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Wow, what is that?
Sisterhood
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And mentorship.
And mentorship. Beautiful. What role has sisterhood played in your growth?
Very critical role from, just emotional support, guidance, cheering me. I think I'm celebrated more by my sisters or the sisterhood than I celebrate myself. So even when I got appointment as a VC, the sisterhood organized a very big party. When I was appointed as a chair of Technical University of Kenya Council, the sisterhood saw that as an opportunity to celebrate. I was not seeing that as an opportunity to celebrate. So those little moments that
They're
have
a key
succeeded.
pillar.
So the sisters have really come in. When I got married, when I got my baby, and everything, the sisters have come through, and they're always with me.
Yeah.
So they keep checking on me. When they see something that I've not seen, they let me know this. We are seeing this thing. What is going on? Come out. Let's talk. Let's have a cup of coffee and things like that. So I cannot put a value to that. Yes,
but they're a pillar.
Yeah, they are a pillar.
Okay.
Yes, a key pillar.
Next is blue or red. Where do we go next? Oh, orange. Blue
let's
or
finish
orange?
With blue.
Okay.
let's finish with blue. We do orange.
Yes.
Because
I think because you're wearing blue, the color
yes.
of the day. Okay.
Yes.
Let's go orange 20. What is here? Okay.
Wacha tuchukue ya beginning. Kwa nini nashinda ikienda beginning?
Wow, beautiful. Purpose and calling.
Yes.
What is one thing you believe you were born to do?
I believe I was born to make the life of the people around me better.
Being a blessing in their lives.
Yes.
Wonderful. So the color of the day.
Blue.
Blue. Okay. Can pick
come
one.
Back now to the middle.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. What a way to end this session.
Yes.
Leadership and legacy. Leadership, legacy. Okay, how do you lead with empathy in spaces of power?
Okay, maybe I'll go with how do I lead before I come to empathy.
Yes.
I think I can describe myself as a situation-based leader, okay? There are times I lead with empathy. There's a time I lead with consultation. There's a time I lead with, should I say authority? Yeah? Authority. So there are decisions that I take and it has to be that way because I'm seeing the bigger picture and there's no negotiation.
That's why you're a leader.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a time, people also describe, they tell me my leadership style is management by walking. So
you love to walk around.
I walk. You'll find me standing next to you in the office. Like, hi, Noella, how are you? How are you doing? And I think there are some few colleagues of mine who have appreciated the leadership by walking style because I've walked into their office when they just need to speak to me.
Okay.
So they are looking at things and saying, maybe we should consult and we're able to resolve on time.
Then they see you.
And then they see me like, voila. So I do that. As I said, I also lead with firmness when it needs to be firm and authoritative. So it is very context specific. And I've just completed a leadership training, a 12-month leadership training, which actually has trained us to have those different leadership styles depending on what needs to be done.
And I love that your leadership style is a cocktail of leadership strengths.
Yes.
Then it begs the question, because this is something that happens to a lot of leaders. Yes. What is the one misconception people have about you?
I'm very authoritative.
That's what people, come on, look at her.
Yeah, very authoritative. Yes, very authoritative.
That's what people, yes. But which is good.
Yeah.
And you've talked about empathy, that even when you're being authoritative, there's humanity in it.
Yes.
It's not dictatorship, as we say it.
You see, like for the example I gave you, if you look at when, for example, the graduation list is not coming out on time, I'm very authoritative to the faculty. But if you look at the bigger picture, I'm empathetic to the students who are supposed to graduate. Yes.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
A balance.
Yes.
If you could relive a moment from your leadership journey, which one will it be?
When I stepped in especially for my students, those who are struggling with fees, and I took a different decision and say, allow this student to sit for exam. They have not completed the fees, allow this student to graduate and things like that. I think for me, that makes me feel very happy because you see, there's the university policy, don't sit for exam without completing your fees. And the only person who can take a different decision is me. Even if that decision puts me in problems when I'm on pending bills I've not collected and things like that. I think those are the things I excite me. The other thing that excites me is students knowing that I can listen to them and I can hear them. I can tell you, Noella, even as late as yesterday, students call me directly, even when they don't have transport to go home. You know, those little things.
Yeah.
My number students have it. They call me when they're having missing marks, when they're having, you know, even when the fault is on their side, they know that they can actually, if nobody else is not listening to them, they want the way they want to be listened. Because sometimes they want to be given the answers that they cannot be given. They know they can still consult the VC. I think for me, those are the moments I'll always, I think I am among maybe the very few VCs that I can be reached anytime by my students. They don't need appointment. If they come and I'm in the office, I will stop what I'm doing unless I'm in a meeting that I'm chairing and listen to them and be able to guide them. I think for me that, yeah, that is something that I can celebrate now from where I am. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of leaders, as you say, it's not easy to just reach them. And at times, when you're on the other end of the coin, you just want that decision maker to hear your problem. Because then a decision can be made. Very wonderful. How will you describe yourself in one word if you're not the Vice Chancellor? Who is Halima? In one word. Let's remove the hard.
Sister.
Beautiful. Okay. What is the boldest decision you ever made and you sat back or looked yourself in the mirror is like, whoa, did I do that?
When I was changing my job from National Museums of Kenya to Kenya Red Cross, there I was on permanent and pensionable. And Kenya Red Cross had only given me a 3-month contract. And I resigned. I didn't take sabbatical. I didn't...
Okay.
I didn't take unpaid leave. I just resigned. Why did I resign, Noella? Because I wanted to give my best. I didn't want to look back. You know, when you have another option, you don't give your best because you think I will always go back to this other option, isn't it? It's there waiting for me.
But I'm sure people thought you were crazy.
Yes, people thought I was crazy. In fact, my bosses were asking, why don't you take sabbatical?
Think about it.
Take unpaid leave. Just don't resign. But I just said I'm going to resign. That is the only way I will now start my life differently because I was envisioning a different life for me. And if I did have a second option or an option somewhere, I don't think I would have put my best foot forward at Kenya Red Cross.
So we'll move to another interesting session. These are just shorter, quick questions and very quick answers.
Okay.
If you had to choose one item or creature that represents your journey, what will it be?
I will pick a lion. The king of the jungle, not the lioness.
The lion. Yeah, we've remembered you told us you're always the tomboy. Tell us why.
Yeah, because I'm not afraid of anything. No.
Okay.
And I face things as they come. And a number of times when I'm discussing with my colleagues in the office, I usually tell them, don't avoid difficult conversations. They must happen. Okay? Because I have observed during my working years, we have a lot of people who are afraid of having difficult conversation. Because of that, they take long to bring that issue to the table. And by the time it's coming to the table, it's too late. So the temper is already high. Discussion is not peaceful. Because now, did you not bring this thing long time ago? So I think for me, that braveness of let's just have this difficult conversation.
To be able to move on.
Yes.
Exactly.
Ugly, beautiful, let's just have it. Because the decision has to be made for us to proceed. So I think that's strength, yeah. And maybe also an eagle, keep flying. I've moved from research, to academics, to humanitarian, to back to academics. Yes. So
Flying.
my wings are very
Flexible and
yes,
flying.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
that's
yes,
beautiful.
yes, yeah.
And if you're to pass this symbol to a younger woman, what wisdom will you attach to it?
I think the wisdom of being purpose. You know, I usually tell the young people, move with purpose. Just don't exist. Okay. So the wisdom of moving with purpose, the wisdom of you're elastic, hutakatika, utarudi tena too. So resilience, adapt, flexibility. Meet people somewhere. Just don't say I want things this way and it has to be that way. So those are the kind of wisdom and never giving up.
Wow.
And nobody should make you feel small.
Yes.
Even a mosquito, ukifungiwa kwa room itakupeleka
They should know
mbio
you're the lion.
yeah.
They're dealing with the lion.
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. Again, so these are very quick ones also, Dr. Halima. To the woman afraid to lead, what would you say?
Lead.
To the girl you once were, what encouragement would you give her now?
Have more confidence in yourself. Celebrate yourself more, because I don't celebrate myself a lot.
To the African education system, what one-line message would you tell them?
Emphasis on quality. Let's work to improve quality. Yes.
To the next generation of religious women professionals, what truth do you want them to hold on to?
You are nothing without Allah. And every aspect of your life, from motherhood to work to being a wife, if you're a wife, sister, auntie, uncle, whatever you are, all those things are acts of worship. So when you're doing them, do knowing that you're in the presence of your Creator. Yes.
To the world, what do you want your story to teach about African women in leadership in one line?
What a man can do, a woman can do better.
We don't have to be lionesses. We can be the lions and roar. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If your life were a memoir, what would the title of your current chapter be, Dr. Halima?
The one who never gives up.
Yeah. The ones who never gives up. What single phrase sums up your journey of faith, education, and empowerment?
Purpose, resilience, family. Yeah.
Wow. If you could dedicate your memoir to one person or two people, who would it be and why?
I think I'll dedicate it to the sisters, to the young women and young girls, just to the girls, especially at a younger age. If I realized I was a lion at year 6, which I'm seeing in my daughter.
Wow.
I think things will have been...
And your daughter is only 3?
2 and a half, yes.
The power of genes. Biology. No wonder you did biology. Oh, wow. Yes, that's beautiful. Yes. And what emotion do you want your readers and listeners to feel when they finish reading your story, your book, your chapters?
Love, empathy, sisterhood, brotherhood, Ubuntu.
Ubuntu.
I am because
spirit,
you are because I am. So that's the spirit I want people to.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yes.
And how do you want history to remember Dr. Halima Saado, the lion?
The one who was always there when she's needed. That's what I want history to remember me.
Wow.
And the daughter who loved her parents.
And who continues to love her parents.
Yes. Oh. I cannot give them enough for what they have given me, and they continue to give me.
I hope one day we'll have an opportunity to meet your father.
I will love to
and your mother and just get a bite from them.
Yes, yeah.
Your story is very interesting, from this naughty person in high school, then growing up, focusing, impacting the lives of other women. Yes. There's that empathy in your leadership. What a combination, Dr. Halima.
Yeah, something I just need to say, Noel, I'll feel if I don't say it. I think one thing I also want the young men and women to learn from me is we bloom at different times. And some of us is what people call late bloomers. I don't think we are late bloomers. We are just, that was our time. Just like in the forest, trees flower at different time, blooms at different time. If you meet maybe my primary school teacher or my high school teacher, I'm sure where they are very, very surprised Dr. Halima is a VC. I was a very different person there. And I'm a different person now. So sometimes we dwell in what happened or how the student or the child is performing in primary and secondary, and you think their life is just average or below average. People need to be given a chance. Any time of their life when they are ready to do something, they should be given a chance.
As they say, life is a staircase, and at every step, there's that you need to accomplish.
Yes.
Some steps are very painful and challenging steps, but they become a stepping stone to go to the wonderful steps.
Yes.
So the same way, Dr. Halima, you're being a person of purpose in people's lives, you're impacting many lives at the university, within your family, your community. You're a wonderful sister. And also, her memoir, we want to be your wonderful sister by giving you something small, but we need something that you will love it.
Thank you very much.
And appreciate it. May it remind you of her memoir and why we need telling our stories, because our stories are inspirations to many other women. Thank you so much.
Can I open my gift?
Yes, open. Curiosity. Yes.
Ooh, fun. Things are getting hot.
Things are getting hot.
Hey.
When things get hot at the university,
You're fun.
Yes.
Fun. Yeah. Thank you very much.
When you see her memoir there, so as you're finding yourself, remember, you know what, you're a walking memoir.
Thank you very much. Very much appreciated.
Something else, keep opening.
Oh, there's more.
There's more, yes. We love gifting.
Oh, wow. When I write my book.
Yes, when you write your book, you have a bookmark. Read what is on that bookmark.
Every woman carries a story. Her memoir tells the stories. Your stories, your strength, and your memoir.
Exactly.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Every woman carries a story.
We all have a story to tell.
Yes.
It is our story, it is our strength, but it's also our memoir. It defines our journey.
And I continue signing checks.
Please, could you sign one check for her memoir, kindly, Dr. VC?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I've never had a pink pen.
Really, we thought, you know, pastel colors, there's some warmness they bring.
Yes.
So when you're signing checks, when you're scribbling your notes, please.
All right. Thank you very much.
We're happy to have you as a stakeholder. And I'm sure in the future we'll be able to interact and talk more.
Yes, we will.
Thank you so much. That was her memoir. We were talking to Dr. Halima Saado, Vice Chancellor of Umma University. When you hear her story, you understand why we said she is a leader, she is a scholar, and she is a mentor. That's why her memoir exists, to tell such stories so that these stories can also motivate, brighten, and be a pillar of strength for many other women. Thank you so much for our followers, our audiences, our stakeholders, our partners, our supporters. We are growing fast because of you. Please keep following our pages, keep interacting with us. And if you have any recommendation of a woman, a lady you feel we need to tell her story, our email is on the screen, our social media handles are there. Please just inbox us, and you can be guaranteed we'll look for this remarkable woman. Until next time, it's been her memoir.
Thank you very much.
Asante, Dr. Halima. Bye-bye.